So at the beginning of the meal, we'll take our oryokis from behind and raise them up to the forehead, and then place them down. And then the servers will come out and give out gamashio, or some kind of condiment, and which we'll receive. And then after, when the soku comes to the back of the bowing mat and with the meal offering tray, there will be a clack, and everyone will chant the Buddha was born in Kapilavastu, enlightened in Magadha, taught in Varanasi, entered nirvana in Kushinagara. Now we set out Buddha's bowls. May we with all beings realize the emptiness of the three wheels, giver, receiver, and gift. There's a bow. And then to open the oryoki, there are these two flaps, and we'll take the smaller one and release, opening the oryoki up. The wiping cloth is the first cloth, and we lift it up from the center, and then it gets folded over into thirds, with the right hand folding over to the left. The bottom swings out, the whole thing gets lifted and placed into the lap if you're on a table, and on the zabuton if you're sitting on a zabuton. For now, I'm just going to place it right here so you can see it. The lap cloth has these two little corners on the upper left, and those just get opened up, and that gets placed on the lap. This fold is towards us, and we fold it away, and holding the cloth close to the bowls, we lift up right here and then just tuck that underneath. Same thing with the flap towards us. Oops, we tuck that underneath as well, and then each side gets tucked, forming a diamond shape. These bowls are placed to the upper left. And then the third bowl, these are extra bowls that are for a priest set. They go like this. So the third bowl gets placed over here, the Buddha bowl is on this side, and the middle gets placed after that. Then we take the utensil case. This stays in our lap. Holding the utensil case, we open up the utensils and squish down the fabric, and then this gets folded into thirds underneath, like this. Chopsticks get picked up from with the two fingers on top, thumb on the bottom. Chopsticks come out and are placed closest to the bowls. The spoon comes out, should be bowl side down inside the utensil case, bowl side up, and then the setsu or spatula gets placed in between the second and third bowls. And then this gets placed back underneath with the wiping cloth. People ask, how is this oriented? Basically, the bottom of the utensil case is towards the left. This flap might be open or closed. If it's open, it's pointing to the right. If it's closed, it's pointing to the left. So the main thing to worry about is the bottom. Right now, it's folded into thirds again and placed under our wiping cloth, which is in our lap. And I'm going to go ahead and move this into under my lap, under my lap cloth. When the food is served, the Buddha bowl is held out. The server puts rice or other grain in, and this is the signal for it. That's enough. And then it gets placed down. People are served in pairs in gasho. For serving soup, you would pick up the soup bowl with these three fingers, place it first on your hand to steady the bowl, and then it's handed to the server. And then when you have enough, again the same signal, and then you bring it back and place it down. For salad, it's held the same way as the Buddha bowl with the two hands, lifted up above the bowl so that if they drop lettuce or what have you, it can fall back into the bowl, the larger server bowl. Once we're given food, there's a whole chant when we receive the food, which I'm not going to chant right now. but after we've received all the food, there's the right before eating, we give the 5 contemplations. We reflect on the effort that brought us this food, and then there's a shashu bow, and consider how it comes to us. We reflect on our virtue and practice, and whether we are worthy of this offering. We regard it as essential to keep the mind free from excesses such as greed. We regard this food as good medicine to sustain our life. For the sake of enlightenment, we now receive this food. And then there's a bow. First, this is for the 3 treasures, and the spoon is placed. Next, for the 4 benefactors, we place the chopsticks at 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Finally, for the beings in the 6 realms, may all be equally nourished. And there's a bow. The first portion is to end all evil. The second is to cultivate all good. The third is to free all beings. And we raise up the bowl so that it's at eye level. May we all realize the Buddha way. And we bow. And everyone takes their first bite together. In terms of eating, this is the resting place for the spoon. The resting place for the chopsticks is right here. If we are not using our chopsticks and we want to place them down, they started off in this position, and when we place them down, once the meal is started, we place them on the other side, pointing inwards on the right side. And then when we're done eating, we would place them back in their resting positions. Seconds will be served. If seconds are served, then you can place, let's say you wanted seconds for the rice, you can place the spoon here and hold out for rice, or whatever the first bowl is. If it's soup, the same thing. We would place these utensils in their resting place on the mat and get seconds. And then once we're done eating, these go back into their resting places on the bowls. At the end of the meal, after seconds is served, we wait until everybody has been served seconds before we eat our seconds, or before we begin cleaning our bowls. So let's say I didn't get any seconds, but the seconds have gone by and the servers have left, and it's time to clean the bowls. I would do a bow, and then I would pick up the chopsticks and clean them in my mouth, holding my hand in front so that I'm not cleaning them in front of everybody. Place this down. Setsu is picked up with 2 hands, transferred to the Buddha bowl, and then I would clean my spoon, and the spoon gets placed down bowl side down because it's the end of the meal. Then using my spatula or setsu, I would clean out my bowl, and yum yum yum, clean out this bowl, getting any extraneous food, and then finally cleaning out this bowl. And when I'm done, I would place my setsu back into the Buddha bowl. When water comes, I would lift my bowl, take my setsu, and hold that out for the water when there's enough water again. And I would cover my nasty setsu with my thumb so that it's not visible to the server. Once I have water, I would place it on my knee, actually, and swirl it around, cleaning out the bowl. When I'm done cleaning this bowl with the water, I would transfer the water into the second bowl. Once that's transferred, then I would put the setsu into that bowl, and that's when I would reach down, and underneath, this is sitting here, and what I would do is sorry, it's sitting like this with these 2 right here, and so I would grab one corner, let it hang, and then drape it 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, put one thumb in, second thumb in, and here I would wipe out with 3 turns, 1, 2, 3.5, and then I would flip it over and roll up my wiping cloth with the little corner sticking out. Once that's all set, I've got water in here that I had transferred. I would clean my spoon in the water, And then I would wipe the spoon with the wiping cloth. And at this point, here's my utensil case that's underneath my, sitting on the mazabaton. I would place this bowl side down into the utensil cloth. I'll just leave it out here for now. And just leave it like this. You don't have to do anything further. In fact, I wouldn't even pick this up, this utensil case. I would just put it underneath. Then cleaning the chopsticks the same way in the hot water. Drying the chopsticks. Give them a little twirl as I'm drying them. And they get placed here as well. Once both of these utensils are here, then I would accordion style just kind of put them into the bottom and close your utensil case. Again, this is underneath. I'm just keeping it out here for visuals. And then I would clean this right here on the mat. I don't need to put it on my knee. This was on my knee when I was cleaning it, but the second bowl is not. As soon as the second bowl is cleaned out, I would move the third bowl to the center, pour the water, transfer the setsu to the third bowl. This is now, the water's been poured in, so this is empty. 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, again, 2 thumbs in, 1, 2, 3 and a half. Lifting the wiping cloth, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Place it inside the first bowl. Then cleaning out this bowl with the water. As soon as it's all clean, I would squeeze out my setsu if I have a setsu. If you have a spatula, then you can just dry it off. And same thing, you kind of get the excess water off, clean off the rest of the spatula, and this just gets slid into the utensil cloth like so. The reason that this is outside is because it needs to dry. There's water in here. At the end of this cleaning, I would take a sip of the water. The idea is to sip off the oily surface, leaving the clear water in the center. When the water comes out, after we've washed our bowls, when the buckets come in to collect the water, there's the chant, "This water we use to wash our bowls tastes like ambrosia. We offer it to the many spirits to satisfy them. Om Maha Kushalaya Svaha." And then when the water comes in, I would pour the water towards me into the bucket. So the bucket would come and I would pour it in. After I pour it, I hold it in my hand, and then both people who are being served bow. And then this last little sip, I don't pour all the water out. I leave a little bit of the detritus, and that I drink myself. Once it's all drunk, lifting up this wiping cloth again, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 thumbs, 1, 2, 3 and a half. To flip it over, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then I would dry it out. And then I hold this in my hand with this little corner outside, put my bowls away, place my bowl set in the center, pull aside the 2 sides. The side closest to me, the corner closest to me, gets folded over. The one furthest away gets folded over as well. Then I'm still holding my wiping cloth. I lift my lap cloth. I hold the lap cloth in the center closest to me and duck my hand underneath and pull it out so it's hanging like this. Again, 3-fold. This is a very long wiping cloth, lap cloth, so I actually fold it across and flip out this part so that, again, we're left with the 2 corners on the left upper side. I lift my utensil case, place that on top, and then the wiping cloth, I will stretch it out. It's all wet, so I'm going to just kind of pull it all the way around several times, and then I would have it folding towards myself. So the opening is on the top, again folding it towards myself, and then I place the whole thing on the top half, opening it up so that it's covering the utensil case. This is the knot. So at this point, what I do is I place my hand like this. I usually grab this side first. Place this, and then this side will go across the fingers and in between my pinky and my ring finger. Again, I'm not pulling it down this way, I'm going towards the top. Right side gets placed between the index finger and the middle finger. You can see these two little ears. I'll hold on to the the right side. It's pointing to the right. And this part just gets slid under. And then I tighten it. Holding this very close to the base with these two fingers, this other ear goes counterclockwise around. And if you can see, my index finger is pointing here. I'll just use that and my thumb to join those two fingers together, the thumb and the index finger, and I just push that in, leaving this little tail, and this part gets, and I hold on to it, and I pull it, like so. So we have this one long ear and one short ear. That's their little release valve, and that's all we do. And as soon as we're done, we put our hands in gasho. There's no bow, it's just an acknowledgement of being completed with our meal. So one gasho with no bow. And then at the end of the meal, when the clacks have happened and the servers have left, we lift the bowls with these fingers up to eye level and we bow before putting it behind us. Just a couple other things to note. If you have a set of oryoki, they should be all white cloths. No darker colored or other colored cloths, all white. The preset is a lacquer set with the brown and the blue and the white. And I think that is all for this oryoki training video.